wait until you see some of the tributes that are pouring in for the great Slick Leonard, the former Pacers coach and Pacers announcer, all part of our coverage here on Facebook Live. Welcome inside Channel 13. It's nice to be with you here at 10 o'clock. We're going to get you all set up for our big story that comes up tonight at 11 o'clock over on 13. We're going to be talking about this big J&J pause that is taking place in this COVID vaccine rollout that continues across the country. What does this mean for you if you had a Johnson & Johnson vaccine recently? We'll get some answers from a doctor as we talk to Emily Longnecker, all part of her big story coverage tonight. But look who has returned to Facebook Live. Angela Buckman back in the house, actually in her house tonight.
Actually, physically in the house, in my house.
Welcome back. How was vacay?
Vacation was great. It was, you know, if anybody has traveled at all during this pandemic, you know how strange it is and how difficult a decision it is to take a trip. But it was Grace's senior spring break. Probably wasn't what she imagined it would be, but the three of us got to get away, and we flew, which is why I'm at home quarantining technically for the next couple of weeks, just to keep everybody, the few people that are in the station, safe. But it was great. It was great to have some sunshine. It was great to have some alone time. My screen time was down 70% plus.
Wait, what?
The week before. Yes. I read 2 books.
My goodness.
Mark and Grace got to play a little golf. We have family that lives down in South Florida, so we got to see them a couple of times for dinner outside. So that was kind of nice because it's been a while. So, but it's weird. It's weird flying with a mask on. It's weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
You're beautiful. You posted a beautiful photo. I hope it's okay if we show it. There you are.
Of course.
Your husband and daughter. What a beautiful photo that is. And what great family time. And I didn't realize that you, not only, you know, were you good at March Madness predictions, but you're an Uno champion, kind of an Uno. You've got sort of this Uno prowess with that card game, right?
I think so. I won. We played every night. Well, and when we have Luke with us, we play euchre. But since there's only 3 of us, we play Uno. And I had one hand that I think I had 2 red. I had a wild and 2 draw 4, I think is what I posted. I'm giggling at myself, and Mark and Grace are looking at me like, what are you doing? And I'm taking a picture of my hand. I'm like, this is the best Uno hand ever.
So you don't have a real good poker face then, right?
No, I think they knew they were getting beat at that point.
Well, you brought back some fantastic weather. We really enjoyed what we had today in central Indiana, but as the Little River Band would say, we're now getting ready for a cool change, right?
It is going to be a cool change. Not cold by any means, but a cool change. Instead of 60s, we're going to drop it back into the 50s. We'll be 55 to 60 tomorrow. I'd say tomorrow is one of those days, if you miss the sweatshirt or miss the jacket, you're not going to be chilly. But Thursday will be our coolest. That might be a day that you're going to want to throw in the sweatshirt or the jacket, because we'll start the day in the 30s and struggle through the 40s most of the day. So Thursday looks to be the coolest, but all in all, not too bad.
All right, we got a lot of people who are glad to see you back. Renee saying hello, Scott and Angela tonight. Mike saying hi, Scott and Angela. So there are a lot of people who are very happy to see you back. So we're going to get back to you coming up in a moment, but we do want to go ahead and talk about some of the other big stories tonight. And of course, you know, the story that we've been talking about on the early evening news and what we wanted to talk about tonight was the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccination, right now on pause as the CDC and the FDA want to go ahead and investigate 6 cases of blood clots that have taken place. So to put this in proper perspective, the Johnson & Johnson shot, they've had 6.8 million shots. They've had 6 cases where women who have had blood clots, and so they want to go ahead and pause this before they go ahead and give any more vaccinations. Emily joins us tonight from home. This was your story today, and you really bring an interesting perspective to this because you worked over the weekend and you covered some of the vaccine clinics and ended up talking to a woman who had the J&J shot recently. Tell us a little bit about your story, Em.
Yeah, I was at the clinic in Carmel this weekend at West Park, the pop-up clinic. And, you know, because the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is a one-and-done shot, it's really ideal for these pop-up clinics, right? So they had it this weekend, and more than 1,000 people came to that clinic, actually. And so talked with a woman tonight. She's 19. She's from Carmel. She's a freshman at IU, and she got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine this weekend at that pop-up clinic that I was at. And some of her family members also joined her. And she says she woke up to the news today about the FDA pausing on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. And she said, she paused for a second, and then she looked at the numbers and kind of approached it logically. And really, it's literally a 1 in a million chance that you're going to develop these issues. So she really wasn't too concerned. And she was glad that she got the vaccine. So then I talked with a doctor from IU, and he basically said the same thing. He said, the first thing, if you got the vaccine in the past week, the first thing is, don't worry. Those were his words. Do not worry. And he repeated, the odds of it, 1 in a million. But he, did talk about some of the symptoms. If you have a severe headache, pain in your leg, shortness of breath, pain in your stomach, these are the kinds of things that you're going to want to, contact your doctor about and let them know that you've had the J&J vaccine.
And the CDC had put out a note today saying that really that if you see these symptoms and you've had the J&J vaccine within the last 3 weeks. So if you've had the J&J vaccine, but it's been more than 3 weeks, people ought to, understand that really what they're looking at is within the last 3 weeks, right?
Exactly. It's within the last 3 weeks. They've seen it in women ages 18 to 48. 6 to 13 days after is what they were finding in these 6 cases, but they gave the window of that 3 weeks. Yeah. So this doctor I talked to said, if you got it last month, this is not even an issue for you. But even if you got it in the last week or the last 3 weeks, you probably have nothing to worry about, were his words.
Okay, well that's certainly comforting to know, Emily, because I know there's a lot of Hoosiers who have been getting the Johnson & Johnson 1-dose vaccination, and they do have questions, they do have concerns, they may be wondering what do I do, what do I look for, and it's important, I think, that you've pointed out those symptoms, and that at least in terms of what the CDC and the FDA and this official that you're talking to, this doctor tonight, your chances of having any blood clotting issues with the J&J vaccination are very rare.
Very rare, very slim. That's according to the medical professionals.
Okay, we will see you tonight with your story all coming up as part of our big story coming up tonight on 13 News at 11. Great to see you, my friend.
Great to see you.
All right, there goes Emily Longnecker. She'll be part of our big story coverage coming up on 13 News at 11. So if you do have any questions for us here on Facebook about the J&J vaccination, let us know. Go ahead and post your comments there. We'll do the best that we can to answer. And let us know where you're watching Facebook Live tonight. We'd love to give you a shout out tonight on this Monday evening. All right, let's bring Angela back and talk about this big loss that we have that we suffered today. You talk about the Mount Rushmore of basketball icons, and Bobby Slick Leonard's got to be on there, Angela.
On there, and you just hear him. His voice is one of those that you'll never, ever forget. And I think there are lots of people that were just saying boom, baby today, just to say it.
That's right. The author of Boom Baby, and certainly he was 1 in a million. And we're seeing tonight some of the tributes coming in from certainly Reggie Miller, who, of course, was part of the Boom Baby years. He says, "This one hurts Pacers Nation. So very saddened by the loss of a beloved human being in Bobby Slick Leonard. We all know how great a coach you were by guiding the ABA Indiana Pacers to 3 championships, but you were a much better friend. I will cherish every one of your conversations and pass them on to my 3 kids." That's what Reggie Miller said. Larry Bird, who was very good friends with Slick Leonard, said to me, "Slick was a real Hoosier. He loved the state and everyone that lives there. He was a great mentor to me and a friend that everyone should have. Slick will be greatly missed and remembered with respect and admiration forever." And our colleague and good friend Anne-Marie Tiernan in February got a chance to go to Slick's house and talk to him. He had had some health problems at that point, but Ann wanted to talk about his legacy and his long marriage to his wife, Nancy. They were getting ready to celebrate 67 years of marriage coming up in June. And Ann had this really neat conversation, Angela, and I wanted to go ahead and play a snippet of it for our audience tonight.
You have just really lived an extraordinary life, Bob.
Well, it's been a blessing. The blessing in my life was to go to Indiana University, my freshman year, and run into a little gal that's sitting right across from me here. This June the 15th, we will be married 67 years. She means everything to me. And we won a national championship at IU. That banner is still hanging down there in Assembly Hall in 1953. Yep, beat Kansas in the final game.
About a marriage that is something a lot of us really look at with deep admiration, and look at all of the achievements and awards in Slick's home. And our condolences go out to his wife Nancy Leonard tonight, and all who loved Bobby Slick Leonard. And our Dave Calabro, certainly among the people who had some memories of Slick and shared these thoughts with us tonight.
Hi, everybody. When I was 6 or 7 years old, I remember going out to the Coliseum to watch the great Indiana Pacers in the ABA days when they used the red, white, and blue basketball. And Bobby Slick Leonard was the coach. He would be marching up and down the sidelines in those plaid pants, and he was larger than life. And then when I started working at Channel 13 back in 1992, I got to meet Slick Leonard, which was pretty cool. And through the years, we became friends. I would run into him actually at the grocery store nearby here. He lived by me. And he called me Davy, and he always made me feel special. He was just one of those guys that loved people, and he always was warm, and he always had time to chat. He was Bobby Slick Leonard, bigger than life.
What does it mean to be back here and have a chance to be a part of this again? It's been a part of your life forever.
Well, I've been here since it started here, 1967, and I look back at the great years. Dave, I'm no different than I ever was when I was at IU. All I ever cared about when I walked on a damn basketball floor was winning a championship. And we won championships. We won the national championship at IU. We won championships here with the Pacers. And that's what it's all about as far as I'm concerned.
Your legacy is forever in the rafters here. You know that, right?
Yeah, they hung me up.
You're in the band. You're in the rafters where you belong.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't for Slick Leonard, there probably wouldn't be an Indiana Pacers. It wouldn't have been in existence still because of him. But Bobby was bigger than basketball. Bobby was just a great human being, and he'll be missed. Bobby Slick Leonard, rest in peace. Job well done. We'll miss you.
Yeah, 529 career wins, 3 ABA championships. He's a Hall of Famer. And my wife worked for the Indiana Pacers for 10 years. I got a chance to know Slick just a little bit, really through her. And he was just such a wonderful, loving guy. And he's just going to be so missed. So on behalf of Pacer fans everywhere, boom, baby. And Slick, thank you for so many memories. What a gentle giant and an Indiana treasure, Angela.
Well, and they had 529, so I'm glad you mentioned that. I didn't know what it meant on the Pacers Twitter page. A picture of a jersey that had 529 on it from earlier this evening ahead of the Pacers game. So I'm glad you pointed that out. I didn't know what that meant. So 529 wins. That's great.
Quite a few. So let's talk about our weather tomorrow. We had that nice day, got this cool change. What can we expect tomorrow?
Mix of sun and clouds tomorrow will be 55 to 60, so not freezing by any means, but a few degrees cooler than where we should be for the early half of April. Our average high is about 63 right now. We'll be a few degrees cooler than that the next several days. And we are getting quite a few questions about the change in vaccine, Scott. You know, people asking about what are we going to do about appointments at the Speedway this weekend. We know the IMS made the switch to Moderna today.
Right.
And I think there's a little confusion about, yes, those folks that got the Moderna are going to have to make a second appointment to get, because that is 2 shots versus the 1 that
Correct.
is Johnson & Johnson. And then had somebody a little confused. So if they got the Johnson & Johnson, do they have to get another one? Was that shot necessarily bad? No, that's not the case. You're fine with the J&J, and you don't need a second shot for that one. So some back and forth on the vaccines tonight.
Okay, what I'll do is as soon as we're done here, I'll go ahead and link some of the articles that we've done, some of our coverage to some of these questions. That way it'll help our Facebook friends navigate some of the questions that they may have tonight, and we'll go ahead and do that through our comment section tonight. So continue those questions, Facebook friends. We'll do the best to get those answers for you. And of course, we'll be answering some more coming up tonight on 13 News at 11. So Angela, it's great to have you back with us tonight. We've missed you. You looked rested and relaxed. And we'll see you with the 7-day forecast coming up at 11. And Facebook friends, thanks for joining us. We're with you every weeknight here, 10 o'clock, here on WTHR's Facebook page. Good night.